In the heart of Africa, where the golden sun kisses the savannah and tall grass whispers secrets to the wind, lived an ancient rhino named Miru. Miru wasn't just any rhino, he was one of the last of his kind. His skin bore the stories of battle, of survival, and of solitude. A scar above his eye reminded him of the night he lost his mate to poachers. But Miru did not mourn aloud. He walked in silence, his heavy feet pressing meaning into the earth. Far away from Miru's solitary world, in a bustling city filled with glass towers and buzzing screens, lived a young girl named Alika. Alika was 14, a quiet soul who loved books more than phones. Her father, a wildlife researcher, often told her stories of the animals he studied, especially Muru, the last black rhino of the Endoma Reserve. On her birthday, Alika received a letter instead of a gift. It was from her father, who had been gone for months in the field. The letter simply read, "Come see the truth for yourself. Follow the rhino's path." Attached was a plane ticket and a map drawn by hand. The footsteps of giants. When Alika arrived in Africa, the air felt different. It smelled of dust, heat, and something wild: freedom. A guide named Juma met her at the dusty airstrip. His eyes were warm but tired. He spoke gently. "Your father went deep into the bush 2 weeks ago. He hasn't returned yet." Alika's heart dropped. But she remembered the letter. Follow the rhino's path. With Juma and 2 Maasai trackers, she ventured into the reserve, map in hand. They followed enormous footprints in the dry earth. The trackers said the footprints belonged to Miru. "He's wise," one whispered, "but hunted. There's a price on his horn." Alika began to write everything in her notebook: the way the sky blushed at sunset, the rhythm of insect wings, the haunting calls at night. But more than anything, she kept her eyes open for Miru. Shadows of the night. One night, as the moon painted the grasslands silver, they heard a rustle. Not far from the camp, Miru emerged, massive and majestic. Alika held her breath. Miru stood still, ears twitching, his horn curved like a blade forged by nature. And then came the sound of a distant engine. "Poachers," Juma whispered, loading his old rifle. Miru didn't run. He stood tall, his silhouette noble against the horizon. Alika stepped forward, her instincts shouting, "This is wrong. He shouldn't have to run." But Juma pulled her back. That night, shots rang through the silence, but they missed. Miru disappeared into the darkness, vanishing like a ghost. The lost father. On the 5th day, Alika found a trail of worn boot prints near a watering hole. Following it led them to a small cave. Inside, they found her father injured but alive. He had slipped, injured his leg, and waited, surviving on rainwater and berries. Through his pain, he smiled. "You came." "Yes," she replied, tears in her eyes. "And I saw him." "Miru." Her father's voice turned serious. "Miru isn't just a rhino, he's the last of a bloodline that has shaped this land for centuries. If he dies, something ancient ends with him. The hornless future." While her father recovered, Alika explored the village nearby and learned the deeper story of rhinos: how their horns were falsely believed to cure disease, how myths fueled markets, and how greed endangered an entire species. She also met a boy named Kito, who once helped poachers track rhinos. Now, haunted by guilt, he helped rangers instead. He told her, "I once betrayed Miru. I won't do it again." Inspired, Alika and Kito started a small campaign in the village: art, music, and storytelling to educate others. Children painted murals of rhinos, mothers sang lullabies about grasslands, and elders spoke of the days when the earth trembled with herds. Miru's message. One evening, as her father recovered enough to walk, they trekked once again into the bush. This time, they didn't follow tracks. They followed silence. And there, by a dried-up riverbed, Miru stood once more. Alika slowly approached, heart pounding. Miru didn't move. She knelt and whispered, "You don't know me, but I know you. You carry more than your horn. You carry hope." A single tear rolled down her cheek. And then, the unexpected happened. Miru bowed his head gently, like a king acknowledging a visitor. Alika didn't touch him. She didn't take a photo. She just looked, deeply. That moment lasted only seconds, but it carved itself into her forever. The return. Alika returned home weeks later, different. She started a blog, The Rhino's Path. Her stories went viral. Schools invited her to speak. A documentary crew reached out. People listened. But even as the world praised her voice, Alika knew the true hero still walks somewhere beneath the acacia trees. Epilogue. The legacy of one. Years later, Miru passed away not from bullets, but old age. He was found beneath a baobab tree, lying peacefully, surrounded by wild flowers and birds. No horn taken, no blood spilled. Just silence and dignity. He left no offspring, but he left something greater, a generation of protectors. Alika stood at the tree where he was found. She placed her notebook there, filled with stories, sketches, and his name. She whispered, "Goodbye, old friend." And the wind answered back, soft, strong, eternal.